Smells like a beer. And I'll get out there and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? Before I start the review of the FiiO K9 Pro, dog wallpaper. Before I start the review of the FiiO K9 Pro, I just want to announce, and this is going to be early for my patrons and subscribers, that Drop is offering fans of Z reviews $400 off on the 8XX. If you want to go and grab a set, link in the description. I don't think there's going to be a code. We haven't really finalized that because it's like a week and a half before. But link to that in the description. I'll leave a link to the Dakoni pads I like to use. And if you want to find this wire, it's on 8post. Good luck. Anyway, on to the review. So, wow, perfect energy ruining battery death. Hello. So, FiiO makes lots of stuff. If you go back into the history of this channel and FiiO in general, the tons of shit FiiO puts out. My very first audio product was a FiiO, the E10. Not the E10K, predecessor to that. E10, and the E10K came like a year or two later, and then the K3 came out and replaced that. And then the big K5, and there was like another one in the middle, and desktop audio has never been their forte. They've sort of moved from like they make stuff to they make great portables, portable DAPs, the M11 with the THX technology, the Q5, the fucking BTR5 is like my favorite goddamn audio device. Only recently surpassed or at least matched with the Audiophile Go Blue, but that BTR5 I can never get the sound out of that out of any of the other FiiO products, and now you can. I didn't open the website, and I probably should because I don't know the exact price. I think this is somewhere in the $650 range, which for a FiiO product, honestly for a FiiO product, that's not bad because the Q5, the Q5 Pro, the M11, the M15 is $1,300. There's a couple expensive things on there. But FiiO's desktop game has been the weakest shit I've ever fucking seen. Until now. That's it. FiiO was like, oh, I got the, and I would get that unit for review. I think it was the... was it M5? The K5, then was there a K7? Whatever. They worked. They had high, medium, low. The original one had a dock on top for the old players, use it as a DAC. And I would review them and they'd be like, and then we move on. But not this time. This, the K9 Pro, is serious. This is the first serious thing that FiiO has put out in a long time. Well, I have the M17 upstairs charging. That's also serious, but in a mental institute sort of way. So let's talk about this. So actually, you know what? I have to find the goddamn link because I need to know the power variables. All right, where are we going? That's wallpapers. I think we're gonna find it here. So let's see, FiiO. Also, KPH 40s coming back in stock as of this recording next week. Or early next week, whatever that means. All right, show me your ugly face. Actually, no, the opposite, $700. So right now, 700. In fact, let's go back for a second, because there's its predecessor. Load, the K5 Pro, $200. So imagine a company that for, oh, we got IFI stuff in here too. Imagine a company that went from that $200 thing. It's got 8 ratings. 8. That's this many ratings. That's how many people bought it and thought it was worthwhile enough to go and give it 4.5 stars. 8 on all of Amazon fucking ever. Actually, wait, that's the ESS. Is the other one more? Okay, never mind. Erase, strike. No. The K5 Pro has 1,445 4.5 star ratings. The K5 Pro ESS, which is a Saber deck one, so since the AKM factory burned to the ground, only 8 people have bothered to come back and give it a review. And it's got USB and optical and coaxial and line in and line out, and it's got switches in the front, and it's got only a 1/4 inch, and it was a basic bitch, and it's $200, and $200 you can get like a IFI Zen DAC and be way happier. Like way happier than that. So to take a step up to now a $700 flagship, MQA, don't care. All right, we'll look at it and I'll try to find. It uses THX amps, which were birthed on this channel. This channel birthed the fucking craze of THX. Because the 789 was like, holy shit, I've never heard amplifiers before, or I never understood what an amplifier should do. And then quickly, once that hit the market and everyone sort of like their eyes just fixated on it, A90 comes out, being as linear but actually better sounding. And then once that happened, the companies had two roads to take. Either you stay down the linear, measurable, holy fuck, look how many zeros after the decimal point cleanliness, or you skewed off and went class A and like weird bass boosts and features and warmth and So there was basically the two roads. So now we converge back to the FiiO K9 Pro, which has the 788 Plus chipset, which is like their fucking newest, greatest, oh my god, chipset for THX. But it doesn't sound 789. They've found that A90 middle ground, tweaked it, put it in a, I don't know how else to say it, but like world-class chassis. Like it's as good as $1,000. I review Matrix audio stuff. I've got a couple, like the what the hell was the other expensive shit I've reviewed? I reviewed expensive shit. You touch this and you feel like, oh wait, FiiO made this? With this, like this giant, it's all metal. There's nothing plastic except for maybe that, unless it's glass. And I want to get something out of the way now because it's bothering me. Whenever I get a piece of equipment and I truly enjoy it, I will stick a waifu sticker on it. Links in the description. Zeos, don't forget timestamps. Link in the description to waifu stickers. So there is, what's her name from No Hero Academia, just with her pure fucking joy I get from having equipment and just like, boom, slap the waifu seal of approval on it. And I'm going to slap a waifu seal of approval on this right now because it's something I need to adjust. You see, it's got this like placard built into the front of it, which is under Lexan, or maybe it's made of Lexan. I don't know. But it says THX technology, and it also says high-res audio and high-res wireless. And guess what? It's 2022. You know what I don't need to know? That it's high-res. Of course it's fucking high-res. It's 2022. I want to know that it's THX. That's nice. So I couldn't find any dog girl stickers. So instead I just picked one with Rhea Scremery on all fours. It's close enough. So now that that is there, I think you understand where they were going in this review. Let's take a tour of the unit because I kind of want to get my structure back up. I've got a kaleidoscope of shit on this desk. The 8XXs, which you don't see in a lot of reviews because they live upstairs, near either on my desk or in my like sunroom where I watch TV. And sometimes I'll use this for conversations, and sometimes I'll actually just listen to music on them. It's wild. We have to unplug my source, which is on the side, and USB from my phone. We're gonna have an exploratory session right now because like they didn't just make it sound better than anything they've ever had before, including their portables. But they've like turned on every single goddamn like option except for I2S. They've also added an RGB ring, which you see is going through teal and blue and purple. You can turn that off entirely using the FiiO app, because once you connect to it with Bluetooth, you can then adjust some settings, which we'll play with on the phone. But really, that is there. If you leave it on the default, when you have it on certain inputs, it changes to that input's color. Like Bluetooth is blue. Right now, since there's nothing hooked up to it, nothing playing, or on USB, it's just cycling. So FiiO, oh my God, this thing is a brick. This is the shithousest brick. And by the way, here's your selection for voltage, which I'm going to tell you because there's the box. You see that bright orange paper that's, 8.5 by 11? It's just a piece of cardboard saying it probably comes with the wrong voltage. Fix it. So I just set it to 115. Oh, wait, let me give you the actual first impressions. Because we've got 4.4 Pentagon balance. We've got a 1/4 inch, no 3.5. We've got the full-size XLR. And for the first time I've ever seen this, a cap to hide it from the normies. If you're watching this and you don't know anything, I mean, this is something I would expect Creative Labs to do. Because Creative Labs, if they put a 4.4 balance connector on something, people are going to try to plug all sorts of shit into that, and they have no idea what they're doing. But I would have figured FiiO would have been like, just put a 4.4, but they didn't. They put a 4.4 and made a special metal. It's a combination metal and rubber that can cover that so that you could hide the ugliness that is a 4.4. So never seen that before. I guarantee you those end up in drawers or lost or just thrown away because you're probably going to use that or this. Knob. People say the knob looks cheap. That's because people can't touch the knob. They're only looking at it on the internet. So the front is, I can't tell if it's glass. It might, you know what? For argument's sake, I'm going to say the front is glass with a silver dot. And then the outside here that looks like silver plastic chrome is metal because it's cold as shit when you leave it out. That is metal chrome with a glass face. This is some serious shit. And it's a digital knob, but it doesn't spin freely. It starts and stops. It has a min and a max located here and here. Not like that matters, but you point it there, it's minimum. Point it there, it's maximum. Makes no click noise, no nothing. It feels really good. I know DMS was jerking off about it feeling like the Bartok. I've never had a $20,000 Bartok. I don't know what that feels like, but I know what a good knob feels like. I've turned some solidly solid knobs, and I can tell you that this is one of the better ones. Where we start to come into issue, because I'm going to go through issues, get some tissues, is labeling and switch control is a little lackluster. I mean, it's $700, and you're getting a fuckload for it, especially in the sound quality range. But there's some usability issues. You get 5 LEDs here, and there are indicators of what it is, but it's in like... The script is darker than the script down here that says max, and it's USB optical coaxial line and Bluetooth. And when you switch through the inputs with the thing, they're all white. And it's weird because when you switch to an input, the ring here changes to the corresponding input you're using, or the bitrate or the compression depth, but this is all white. So if you're far enough away that you can't see if you're in the first, second, third, fourth, the fifth thing, you don't know what input you're on, and you got to like really buckle down to read this like size 1 font. I wish they would have indicated that a little better. So we're currently on USB. We're not going to be on USB in a second. Let's go to optical or coaxial because I have those plugged in the back. You get 2 switches, 2 3-way switches, and 2 digital buttons. This is the power button or mute. So if I were to turn the whole unit off, you'd hold it down for a second. Very gentle click, very quality click. Feels like a piece of Japanese equipment. It's not, but it's like click. Like someone inside, a little tiny person comes out and flips a switch on the wall. You hold it again to turn it on. Well, let me see how long I have to wait. It's a little bit longer than I'd like to be able to have to hold it down, but you get all sorts of nice click, click, click. Things are turning on, relays and connections are being made. You get your ring light up to indicate you get this come on. So those are your power indicators. There's no separate power indicator. If you press it, the light goes off here because now it's muted. I need to plug in a headphone. I guess I'll put back on the 8XX for now. And we'll turn up the volume. Muted, unmuted. What are we on? Sicario? It's way too quiet. Okay, now we hear mute. When it's muted, the light goes off, but that light stays on. That's how you know. Unmute it. Or, I think, yeah, moving the volume knob will unmute it. We will talk in a second about how everything you do on this is soft. You turn it on, and it isn't just like loud. It's, and I mean that speed. A lot of things have like, when you change inputs or something, it'll like duck and then come back up within a second. This unit sort of cares if you have it on too high a gain, or if your input's fucked up, or if there's some just loud porn playing on one of the inputs and you don't know about it. Because if I switch, let me see if I can get this to happen. I'll go from optical to coaxial into loud song, Geschaffelstein. You'll do. Good. We're on optical. I'm going to switch to coaxial. Wait. Did you feel that? Did you feel the quality of that? Like, I switched. It went, wait, I'm going to do it. Is this what you want to hear? All right. I'll be ready for this. And you got it. Can be slightly annoying if you switch inputs a lot. But it's just, I've never had one do that. Even like any of these. Well, a lot of these are just fucking switches that'll like click, 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 click. That felt luxurious. There's no remote control for this unit, which at this price point and with its features and the fact that it can do pre-out stuff, I kind of would have liked, but I think that would probably raise the price to nearer $1,000. And you know what? It might be worth it because this has pre-outs that are feeding those two speakers, balanced pre-outs that are feeding this musician Andromeda. We're getting to it. We're not even done with the front yet. Get to the front. So you have your power, which is also mute. You have your input, which just switches between inputs in one direction, no relation to the band. You have an output switch, which is 3-way, and a gain switch. Same thing happens with gain. You go from low to medium, duck, and back up. High, and back up, that's the most important one. Does it do it when you go from high to low? Let's find out. Because I don't recall. No. When you go to high to low, it just slams down when you go from low to high. It doesn't go all the way down. It just ramps up to that level, which is like if you can do it, if FiiO can do it, you can do it, company, whoever the hell you are. Look at me. Look. Do that. Because I hate it when I go from like low to medium, then click to high, and it's like a 15 decibel gain and your head explodes. Give me like even a split second of just ramp. I know it's probably accessible in this because it's all digital. Like I said, this knob is digital. So you have a minimum and a maximum and it stops. But if you turn the knob really fast like this, it doesn't change the volume. The volume stays consistent because it's waiting for you to stop so it can read where it is and then bring the volume there. That means you're not going to get a dirty pot. That means you're not going to you're not going to turn it one day and it's going to go, or you're going to have channel imbalance. And that's probably one of the best implementations of a digital volume control I've seen, because I love having an indicator that has minimum, halfway, maximum, and this does that. So power we talked about, input we talked about, gain we talked about, output. So here's your switch that lets you choose, and again, lettering, minute fucking skewel, DAC, pre, or HP for headphone out. So we've got an HP for this. Issue being, this is a giant fucking box now adorned with Rias Grammar. Get your sticker packs in the description. And that switch is teeny tiny. Like here's the size of an RCA and there's the size of that switch. Like it's an 1/8 of an inch of movement to get from the bottom through the middle and then to the top. That's not an 1/8 of an inch between each, an 1/8 of an inch total travel. So like 2.5 millimeters up and 2.5 millimeters up beyond that. And if you're going to use the headphone all the time, you're going to use low gain, you just go slam, slam, bottom, bottom, you're good to go. But if you want to use medium gain, you have to like be very good with this finger. Your girlfriend would appreciate it if you just got really good in the control and you could be like, that actually took effort. Like that actually like hurt. Because if you go too hard, you go up to high and you didn't want that. So now I want to go from Geschaffelstein there. And here's the real one where I had to practice this. Because I'm going to go from headphone out with Geschaffelstein to pre-out for those speakers. The next step up, if I fuck this up, is full line out. Which I'd want to use for like this amplifier, but not for those speakers. So we're gonna this. Thank God. Wait for them to wake up, by the way. Okay. By the way, that speaker's off for some reason. Why are you off? I'm not allow it. I can't allow it. Not even during a review. I have to get up, see what the deal is. No power. Why? Where'd your power go? Oh, because I needed to walk into the headphone area. That's why. Like, if I'm going to listen to this, if I'm doing this review, you're enjoying it with me. Back to Geschaffelstein. Okay, so, and again, if I flip that switch, even with the volume, here's the scary part now. Volume all the way down. Just sitting here. Let me pick a quiet song now, so I could do this without blowing anything up. Oh, that's not quiet. That's quiet. So I'm sitting here, and I just flipped the switch up. because I switched it from pre to DAC, so the volume control stopped mattering for the outputs. And now, this is La Bohème, Che Gaidile Maranina from the 50 Greatest Hits of Opera. I wish the switches were bigger or digital, like actual push buttons that just change the light over. Because having like a full-size toggle, like here the Singzer has, big fuck you toggles in 2 or 3-way, and I feel confident I can get it like middle, bottom, middle, top, off, on. I could do that. Here, they went for that like much flatter, much smaller, much fucking more finite switch, and I almost have to lift the unit up and like gently fingertip it up. The gain switches, by the way, do adjust the output on the back, just so you know. So that's the front. We've now covered the front, and the issue I have is just small issue. I've got big manly hands that pet dog girls when they're being good, and now I have to deal with this like little fiddly shit down here. It's like they were building the original K5 stuff, which, wait a second, hold. Son of a bitch, those had the toggles. They were small toggles, but they were still toggles. So they went, oh no, we gotta do this. Let me get down to where there's specs before I have to look for them later. Jesus God, there's so many things. They got their own linear power supply built in there, by the way. QA repair track, pre-line out. Do you have numbers? Give me numbers. I should have memorized the numbers beforehand, but I was too busy listening to music because I actually enjoy that sometimes. So all that's in the front. You get your 3 outputs, no 3.5mm. It does come with a 1/4-inch adapter. I'll turn it on its side now. You can see the USB in. This is not the only USB in. This is the secondary USB in. And I guess it prioritizes this one over the back one, because since this is up front, you would probably use it for exactly what I was doing with it, which is plugging in your phone. It does not come with this wire. This is actually the wire from the IFI Griffin, but you can buy, I'll link in the description, a 3.5 to 3.5 OTG cable, and you can just plug it in there. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not 3.5, USB-C. And you can just, get home, plug your phone in, have your Tidal running, or not Tidal because that has MQA, but Spotify, which, oh no, wait, never mind. They don't have, they're falling back on their lossless. They don't know when that's coming out. So I guess you plug it in and listen to, I don't know, Plex. Plex is good because you do your own stuff. And you have that, and that'll prioritize. The rear of this unit now, because there's nothing else side. The top has only become interesting because of Rias. It says FiiO back here, which you can actually feel it. It's screen printed on top. Can I get this up without destroying the whole desk? Yes, I can. I'm the best. It's pretty basic back here with 1 or 2 little special things. Power supply with main breaker, which you don't need to turn the main bus off. Actually, a fuse underneath the power supply. Here's your digital inputs. Bluetooth, you have a nice antenna, coaxial, fiber optic, and a full-size USB. I'm using the side USB instead of the back USB because I'm using it for a phone. Then you have these 2 things in the middle. This cable here is coming from the Musician Pegasus DAC down there, and it is feeding 4.4 balanced analog into this, bypassing the DAC and just using that DAC to feed the amplification. And we have to talk about that when I get to like raw sound quality, because there is a difference and I can hear it, and I'm not sure if that's to the benefit of the FiiO or to the benefit of the Pegasus. But you have a 4.4 input, so they give you a balanced input. They just couldn't fit 2 more XLRs here. So they give you a balanced input, it's a 4.4. They give you 2 RCA inputs as input. They give you 2 RCA outputs, which I'm using for those speakers. And they give you 2 XLR outputs, which I'm using to feed the Musician Andromeda with the waifu sticker sitting over there. And my only concern is that the line input only has 1. It's not line 1 and line 2, it's line. So if you have something plugged in balanced and you have something plugged in RCA, let's say you have, I don't know, what would be balanced? What would be a balanced thing you'd plug in? I mean, I'm doing it to test for DAC shit. Most people, I think, are going to ignore that 4.4 and just use the RCA. If you have a turntable, if you've got a mixing board or something you want to plug in, just use this as your amplifier, you can easily do that. But since you only have one line selection, it's going to pick whichever one it thinks. Probably going to take priority on the balanced, since so few people would be using it. I don't know how it works. I haven't tried to feed both in there and switch it to line. Yeah, that's the end of the back. So you get a FiiO DAC amp with the standard complement of DAC inputs at $700. I could see people maybe wanting like an I2S, which is, where is it? There. Hi. I2S is the big HDMI plug where it actually bypasses parts of a DAC because you're feeding it with this and it's decoding it on the way. I don't understand it either, but it doesn't have like those high-end features, something that like a topping D90 down there would have, or the Pegasus has. So it's kind of basic when it comes to like the inputs, because I'm fine with coaxial and fiber optic. Bluetooth is a nice bonus, and USB, you get all the benefits of driverless USB installation, etc. Let's turn this back around, which, by the way, did I mention how fucking well built and heavy this monster is? Look at those fingerprints. Rubber feet there. And let's just put this down gently. Yeah, no, you kill someone with this thing. Noise floor. Zeos timestamp noise floor. Every review of an amp, I should, if I'm a good reviewer, and I've missed a couple here and there, but I should pull out the Dunu Zens. The Dunu Zens are my most efficient pair of IMs. And what that means is they basically work off of cat farts. You put them near a cat that's been running on a rug, and the static electricity can travel through the air and make music come out of these. And when I plug them into an amplifier and then pause the music and then turn the volume all the way up, I can tell if an amplifier is noisy or not. Now, I had to run it twice on this because there's the 1/4-inch output, which is unbalanced, and then the balanced output, and I use the 4.4 as the Zens come with an adapter. The 1/4-inch output is dark. Like, I can't tell if the unit is on. You plug it in and you listen real careful, and you turn it on high gain, and there's no popping, and you turn the volume knob all the way up, and you're like, if this starts playing, I'm gonna die. And there's no sound. Then I plugged it into the 4.4, and seeing that it's a THX amplifier, I assumed, like all THX amplifiers, it would be dead silent. And it was not. In fact, on high gain, it was pretty relevant that I was like, oh, it's like shh. I could hear the shh. And at first I thought that was the amplification, because this thing sounds good. We'll get to the sound of how it sounds less linear than it probably could be, and I think FiiO did a little bit of tweaking to give you like a nice FiiO BTR5 house sound in a powerhouse amp. But then I switched to, instead of the internal DAC, using optical or coaxial. I didn't test with USB actually, but using optical or coaxial, I had that hiss. And when I switched it on the balanced output on high gain to the analog input off of the fucking $1,100 R2R Pegasus, it was much less static. So that leads me to believe one of two things. Either the amplifier itself is tuned on the line input to drop the gain, which could be the case because I keep finding that the digital inputs are louder, significantly 6 or 7 decibels louder than the analog input. I was worried it was the Pegasus's fault, like the Pegasus might be having a low voltage issue or something. But then I realized that it's the static hiss is probably 7 or 8 decibels quieter, which makes it nearly gone. So it could just be this unit quelling whatever you plug into it analog and just going, you know what? Shh, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Quiet it down. Usually it's the other way around. Usually they make the digital inputs less aggressive and less gainy so they can, just it's a fixed input and whatever happens through RCA happens. But this should be full voltage XLR coming into it. So what does that have to say about the noise floor? It's fine. You will never be running anything this sensitive on high gain to the point where you'll actually hear a noise floor. And if you are, you're listening for it like I am. If I put these back in and I don't feel like putting an IM. So I put those back in and put this down to low where it should be, and then use any of the inputs, I'm not going to hear anything. Let's pick another headphone. Everyone's favorite. Where do you end? Where do you end? 880, 600 ohm. So, the one thing that I could tell you guaranteed is that there's a lower power output with the 1/4 inch than the balanced. Put that up all the way. Put that down to headphone because we don't want to blow up the speakers. In fact, I'm going to turn off the speakers with power. That's the most reliable way, by the way, is have a power switch on the power for your powered monitors. You just fucking stop. Stop. We're playing Pearl Jam. Let's go. We are on optical input, which is fine. High gain. This is not bad. I think these would benefit on this amp a lot more if they were balanced, because balance has more power. It doesn't want to tell me what... I'm gonna have to go to the FiiO website to look this up. I had it in the back of my head what kind of wattage they were putting out. I don't think it was higher than like 2. Oh wait, here we go. See, no, they're doing that thing. They do that fucking thing where they say, oh, even power hungry headphones can use it. And it's like, well, how power hungry? 600 ohms. But how many watts? And they don't fucking tell you. Because, again, the same reason there's a cap for the XLR, FiiO's thinking that baby men are going to buy this, and they would be so confused by milliamps. Oh, don't tell them that. Just tell them, I don't know, ohms or something. On the unbalanced 1/4 inch, this is an acceptable amplifier for 880, 600 ohm. Not the greatest one I've ever heard. Speaker amps still push these better. Scrooged. The Big Speech Alternate. Scrooged is a great movie. I can max it out on high, and we are pretty loud here. And they're shaking a little bit in my hands. So let's take that down. And again, I just took it down. It's like, I could hear the volume change like twice. It's like, oh, okay. So let's take those off. I'm actually going to change for a second this to, those speakers are off, DAC mode, which means unlimited volume out the back. I'm going to pick up, Scoozy. I'm going to pick up my lovely Cindy Peacocks, and I'm going to raise the volume on the Musician Andromeda. Because now, oh my God, the song ended. Why does it always do that? Perfectly. I turn the knob and nothing happens. Audiophile nightmares. So now, I'm judging this based on, judging this DAC. Just the DAC. Purely the DAC. So digital input, DAC output, balanced output to an amplifier I fucking love with a sticker on it, and now I'm judging it. And I don't hear anything blatantly wrong with the DAC. Do I think it's adding like this tremendous amount of passion to the music? No. Do I think DACs need to do that? No. DACs just have to be competent. You have a competent DAC? Great. You're doing fine, sweetie. That said, though, you switch to line, and I gotta raise the volume. I have to admit, as a reviewer, I think I like the way that the things sound through this when that's the DAC and this is just connecting the two. So I have the balanced output of Musician Pegasus coming in. And then I set this to line, and then it puts that out. Oh, by the way, it's doing the RGB thing. Then it puts that output into this, and there's like a 5 or 6% of, ooh, is that more soundstage? Is that more detail, more depth? What am I hearing? I'm hearing something I like more. And this might be one of the few examples you'll ever find on this channel of me going, oh, I like that DAC more. That is also an $1,100 dedicated R2R DAC. So, I mean, this is a unit that has, I think, a lot of its weight, a lot of that $700 price tag, when you reduce it down, is amplifier and build quality and features and not DAC. So I think the DAC in this is 100% usable. 100% usable. But if you have a $1,000 R2R DAC just lying around, you might want to invest in the cable for it. and now pushing it through that. So now here is the biggest question and conundrum. And I'll have to unplug this, and I'll have to lower this to medium gain. Yeah, she drones. All right, Dexter. Wow, that sounds fucking excellent. But will it sound excellent when I do this? And then switch it to headphone. Yes. 100 fuck you %. So yeah, I don't think that necessarily like, oh, the musician Andromeda is now dead, no one needs that anymore. I'm just saying the pleasure. Now, granted, these are Pegasus, and I've said specifically in the review that they don't really need a heavy-duty amplifier to sound amazing, but I've done this test with other headphones. Going from amps I know and trust to this, and back and forth, and different DACs, and that DAC, and the DAC that's built in, and this amp with this DAC, and this amp with that DAC, and I think overall the package deal for $700, 100 fucking % competes. The only thing I can think about that would come close to this sort of thing is the Topping DX7 Pro is like the one that flashes in my mind. But I'm probably going to link in the description the Shandling M5. Because that thing has less power than this. All the digital inputs and outputs this has, but also has a built-in player, like built into it, and web control and stuff. So like I can't deny in this price range that. And then I think the Matrix, the little Element I was too much money. That was like $1,100. But there was a little Matrix unit that I reviewed. I'm trying to figure out competition because this thing sounds fucking phenomenal, and I want it to appeal to everyone I know. So I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to put this to medium. I'm going to plug in some 1/4-inch action on my GL2000s. My GL2000s, which were only out for reasons. I will say for a digital volume knob, it's not as linear as I'd like. I find myself going from here to here to here to like when are we? Okay, I start at noon. I hear music, but it's like real quiet, and then by 2 o'clock, it's like okay, that's listenable, and then it's fucking blasting by like 5:30. Man, this is a good. Everything about this is good. I can't play too much of the same song because I know the camera can hear it, and then copyright strikes have been coming. Not strikes, but copyright claims for everything. Me singing in the beginning might fucking cause a copyright claim. Yeah. In fact, here, let's go back to unplug DAC, plug in. And it's slowly ramping up the output of the DAC into that amp. I flipped it, plugged it in, and I heard it come back up. Does it for the speakers? Does it for the for the outputs? These are the creature comforts that every manufacturer should have on. All right, I'm going to put it back on its own internal DAC under coaxial. I'm going to lower the volume because I know it is louder on the lineouts are also louder compared, which is why it makes me think that it's either that DAC or the input itself is quelled, which would make more sense because the noise floor would be lower. Kisniver, where's the OP for Kisniver? Oh, is it not here? That show is so fucking weird. I wanted to like that show more than I did because it was Trigger and it was right after Kill la Kill. Speaking of Kill la Kill. Kizumonogatari. Oh yeah, we are thumping. So, undo that thump, put it back to headphone, lower this, plug it back in. A little more headroom than that, which is strange. But again, I also said the Andromeda, this is a 1/4-inch adapter, so or a 1/4 inch plug. So I said the Musician Andromeda is not really your 1/4 inch baby. There's better straight non-balanced amplifiers. Balanced, yes, but if you have the choice and you only have an unbalanced headphone, I take the FiiO. I take the FiiO for power too. That's a feat. Dog feet. Yeah, I think this could solve a lot of... Let's give one more headphone a go, which obviously I've given it a go previously, but I'm gonna give it a go again because it's LCD 5s and high gain, please. Yeah, so here are LCD 5s. Their review not in the can yet. If you've noticed over the last couple weeks, if you watched this channel for more than like 3 days, hi, this has been on my desk. And I've basically done all the sound demos with it, and I've basically had it on the desk and just done all my reviews with it. Because why not? Because everything I plug into it is satisfactory or better. And I know it's not coloring the sound. Oh, we gotta get to the app. Because we can color the sound, or at least we should be able to. My fucking God. Okay, so while this is playing, thank you, Beastie Boys, we have a FiiO Control app. The FiiO Control app is the app for everything that FiiO makes. The UTWS-5s, the BTR-5, their portable players, everything. Once you Bluetooth connect to it, you get it in this menu. You can see I have the UTWS-3s, I have the UTWS-5s, and the now connected FiiO K9 Pro, which comes up and occasionally, even if you're not on the Bluetooth setting, it will connect once you've paired it once, because it goes out and reaches out, tries to grab it. And it shows me a picture of it. It shows FiiO K9 Pro, coaxial mode. 44.1 is my input, because I'm coming off of that. If I switch this to 24-bit stuff, now it says 96, so it knows the mode, it knows the input. It doesn't show you anywhere on here, except for the color is now yellow or greeny. Greeny? Like not yellow, but not quite all green. Puke green. For 96. So what other ones do I have in this folder that I could... 96. 44.1 is blue. 96 is green. I know I've got like a 76 in here somewhere. No. Oh, I won't push it anyway because we're going through optical. If we went through USB, you'd have options for higher things. So it's not a lot of options. Status indicator pattern, which is the fucking ring. Brightness is here. You can lower the brightness and you can see it literally drop to like barely visible. I'd probably leave it up. You can turn it off entirely and then you'll just have the indicator of the input being your indicator that it's on. When it's doing RGB shit, I'm kind of like, I hate life, but at least it's doing the correct thing with RGB, which is being informative also. So we got the puke green, we got the blue, we know we're on Bluetooth. It flashes red and green to pair. It's an indicator more than most. You have off default, which is what I'm leaving it on, and then multicolor gradient, which means multicolor gradient is the nicest way to say, yo bro, put it at RGB so it can like do, that's your setting. Select Bluetooth codec. I've gone in here and disabled a few. If I'm Bluetoothing to this unit, I do not want it to accept AAC, regular aptX, or aptX low latency. I want only aptX HD, LDAC, and aptX adaptive. Those are the 3 best codecs, I think. I don't know about low latency. I'm not sure if that's a high-end codec or just a low latency codec. So you can literally tell it to not connect to certain things. Then you can choose your input right here in the app. So look, oh, it chooses it. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's so cool. I don't know why you'd use that. Remember when I said I wish this had a remote? This doesn't qualify because it can't control the volume. Unless it can. Can it control the volume? That'd be amazing. No, I can't control the volume. Wait for that thing to spin. If that thing spun, it'd be fucking amazing. What you're really here for, you can go to settings. There is a custom device name, a firmware upgrade, which is not available yet. It says not that there's no firmware. It says it's not possible yet. You can clear pairings. You can put the system in standby through the settings. Oh, God. You have 4 things at the bottom. The guide, which is just basically the actual, like, showing you what the thing is. This is the quick start guide. There's a quick start guide it comes with, or you get one here. You can't zoom in, though, so it's kind of like good fucking luck. Didn't mean to get out that far. So there's your guide. The audio selector here is channel balance. So if you are, and this is for the unit, so if you are hard of hearing in an ear, and there are plenty of older and even younger audiophiles who went to Metallica concerts and they fucked up. If you have hard of hearing in one ear and you need to adjust the balance, you could buy this unit and literally permanently affix an adjustment of 12. Oh, it won't do it to the line. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see. All the way right. I'm learning. Hold on. Let's go back to optical. All right. So for the digital inputs, you could adjust the balance. It does not apply it to the line. I probably will adjust it to the outputs as well, like the outputs on the back. So you can do that. You can set your low pass filter, which this is those filters I always say I can't hear the fucking difference. These at least give you a graph to show you what's going on. So low dispersion, short delay, super slow, which I have set because it's the shortest delay. I don't know. And then you could pick and choose. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to do with the low pass filter. It goes in that standby too often. And that went completely out and I didn't want to go there. So the final thing, which I want to look at, which would be like an amazing thing if it worked, is the EQ. Because you get a 10-band EQ that you can apply to the unit. So it's on. Actually, it does work probably, but probably only works with a digital input. So let's go to custom. And let's make this shit the bassiest shit. Give me some deep low end. Oh yeah. Did the LCD the LCD 5s needed this? Murder me with some highs, bro. I still don't think it's working. Like it should be like this. If this is a 12 decibel boost of a V shape, I would know it on LCD 5s. Because when I turn it off, it will go away, and it doesn't seem to apply anything. And you could hit reset and you could turn it on and off, but it don't do. I'm sure, since this unit is brand new, whatever issue that's having will be sorted out, but it doesn't seem to work right now. But when it does work, you'll be able to just add a little bit of bass boost or maybe cut some treble on a headphone and lock it into the unit. Not through the app, not playing phone music through here, through the USB. Literally tell this unit, here's your EQ curve for everything now. And that's kind of cool. Not many, not many units have that at all. Like not Matrix, not anything musician, nothing that I've smart connected to lets you burn an EQ curve in. It just doesn't work right now. So we're just gonna nod our heads and go, that's gonna be a lovely feature when you get it sorted out, FiiO. So yeah, I don't think I have much more to say about this. We've been here for like 45 minutes. 51 minutes. How long have I been fucking bullshitting? Because I feel like this is an important enough review that I need to spend my time. I gotta suss out. People are gonna buy this. People are gonna buy this in mass. $700 is a lot, but it's a FiiO product. People have FiiO products. They tend to be reliable, and they have damn good customer service. So people just, all right, yeah, I got a FiiO. If you don't know what to get, you get a FiiO. And this is the first time you've been able to say that for a fucking desktop unit that isn't just, you know, a slight upgrade to the K series. Or the, was it the K series? Yeah. Yeah, the K5. I was so confused. So the K3, the K5, now the K9. Let's see if there's any reviews on this before I move along. There are 8 ratings again. Yay! 4.5 stars. A couple issues. Update. Okay, I think he had an update, so he fixed his shit. Better sounding than anything below $2,000. That's definitely that could absolutely be the case. Because this is using THX tech. This is using that tech. But they're not just choking the life out of the music. So many THX things are just like, eh. This one says, sounds good, but inadequate power. But what is he powering? Anandas. Yeah, it's not the issue at all. With those, gonna get quite uncomfortably loud. Oh, what's your fucking problem? Aeon Noirs. I don't have Aeon Noirs here. I mean, if I can push 880, 600 ohms on the quarter-inch output, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem. The only thing I concern myself with volume is that you have to get the volume knob past where I'd like it. I would love the volume knob to always be at noon, 50%. And with a digital knob, that should be possible. But if I put it on even on the high gain, it doesn't really get to like the meat of the power until you're in that last like few degrees. And then you get the meat, right? Who's a good girl? Who wants the meat? Rhea Scremery does. Yeah, so I'm done. It's built beautifully. It handles well. I've had no issues with the app except for the app doing app things. It powers every headphone. The noise floor is not even noticeable unless you're on high gain, on balance, with the most sensitive items in the world, which you're never going to be. As far as like the weirdness, as far as DACs and volume leveling, I'm going to have to sit here and dick around some more with it. I might end up just throwing it in the rack. I might. My only issue with that is I can't just flip it on and everything just comes on because it's digital, so I have to power it up every time. I really fucking like this thing. Now, FiiO, the ball's in your court. I'm waiting on an add-on module to sit on top of this, or preferably below so you don't hide the sticker. That is just plug it in, speaker amp. FiiO, where's my speaker amp, FiiO? Everyone else, Topping, SMSL, they all got their speaker amps going on. And I think you could, if FiiO could do it, if anyone could do it, it's fucking FiiO. Because they've been the ones working with THX longest. Because right now, if you want a THX speaker amp, you got a fucking benchmark. And it's $3,000. FiiO put out a 10-watt THX fucking module for this. Charge $500 for it. I'll pay for it myself. Just a little flat 1-inch brick just underneath it. Oh my God. I came so hard. Just like a $500, and then you could sell those to people who are home theater enthusiasts or something, because oh my God, make it a monoblock, make it 25-watt monoblocks, and I get 2 of them. That's what I want. Will they do it? I don't know, but they're the only company I know of that has a relationship with THX and have so many products and move so many products. Oh, it'll be amazing. All right. That's my wish list for the future. Let's all cross our fingers and hope to die. What's her name? I had another wallpaper for her. I downloaded 4 wallpapers. I had this one, which was cute, which I have to fix that line. I had that one, which is super cute. And then I had this one, which has Corone with a chainsaw. And I think if I hated this unit, the chainsaw Corone would have come out. I don't watch her as a VTuber, but I know she's cute, all right? Relax. I understand Dog Girl and all 4s. So I'm done. Patreon, subscribe star, linked in the description. Links to, if it's the 14th of February, 2022, the 8XX are on sale for Z Reviews members. Check them out. I really do love these fucking headphones. In fact, let's get rid of these LCD fucking 5s and put these back on. I was like the only person who liked the tuning, and then I put the pads on, and I'm like, you know what? These are a goddamn yes. Just all the time. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. So, yeah, Patreon subscribe star. I have to lower this. Patreon subscribe star. See reviews early. Patrons will know about that sale coming up and start saving their pennies for $5 a month. Participate in yard sales, which I stickered this. I don't usually sell things that are stickered, but if you're lucky, FiiO will send me some gifts to put in the yard sale, which happens from the 1st to 10th of every month, and I ship internationally if you pay for half the shipping, and continental United States and Canada free shipping. So whenever you bid on an item that I'm done using, IEMs, usually it's just tons of IEMs. You can get them for like 60% the price is usually like the bidding range. So a $1,000 unit becomes $580 and you win it and you're like, holy fuck, I just saved $400 by spending $5. Congratulations. That's called commerce. And then you get to hear sound demos losslessly and get into the Sound Demo Oasis. For $10 a month, you get into the behind the scenes private Telegram chat where I will answer all your questions. Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. After speaking for a while, that actually does come out. I was watching the I was watching the Trash Shakes podcast, and then I started watching the Always Sunny podcast with the stars of Always Sunny, and they all went to Juilliard, and they were talking about that's what they used to have to say. So yeah, so $10 a month gets you in the private behind the scenes Telegram chat. You also get access in there to a swap meet. So if you want to buy or sell gear, you can do that privately to the people who have always, you get a lifetime subscription to that once you're in the $10 chat even once. So go have fun. Try not to buy too much stuff. Check out Hi-Fi Guides and the Hi-Fi Guides forums. I want to thank our sponsors today, which don't exist yet. Although I guess you could say Drop giving everyone a $400 coupon is probably a sponsor, but I don't benefit too much from that. Although I probably will get percentage of sales. Please, God. I have to pay for my driveway. I got the first quote for my driveway. It's $25,000. I'm so glad I have a 500-foot driveway. My neighbors can't hear shit. Oh, you want to pave it? Time to sell some shit. Sell it all. Anyway, I will see you all in 2 days. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget your wallpaper on your way out. And buy anime stickers for your equipment because that's cool. And merch is coming. Again, new merch.